Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today we're going to be installing roof racks on this SUV right here. This particular vehicle is a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is what they call a naked roof. There is nothing on the roof. There's no sidebars. There's nothing on the roof. So the only way you can attach this onto the vehicle is you're going to have to put brackets to hold it in the frame of the door. And that goes on top of the roof, and then you can put your basket, or you could put your rack, or you could put your carrier on top of that. All right, so it is a little confusing, but if you just see the directions and I talk you through one by one, each step one by one, you should have no problem whatsoever. All right, so let me explain the pieces you're going to need to put the roof rack system together. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a crossbar. These crossbars are actually called JetStreams, and this is made by a company called Yakima. And on the bar itself, it has arrows pointing the direction that the bar is supposed to go. The thicker part to the front of the vehicle, the thinner part to the back of the vehicle, and it shows you right here. Also on the back, it shows you right on the back. There's an arrow that's printed right on here as well, just in case you took this off in your unpacking and threw it away. All right. Next thing is going to be is the baseline towers. You need to install these, and they come with this hardware right here. It's an end cap and a clip that goes in the top over here. And last but not least, you're going to need the system that actually is specifically made for the vehicle. This one, like I said, is a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, and these are the components for that. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your base, and you take the sides here and you squeeze it together, and you just rock it back and forth, and you see the top opens up like that and it comes out. There's a little tiny clip, that's a U-clip here, and it fits around there, so make sure you take the top out, otherwise you'll break the bottom. All right, so we'll take this out like this. We're going to put that to the side for now. Next thing we're going to do is right here, there's a little clip. You pull that clip out like this, and we take one of the clips like this that came with it, and you put it inside here in the center, and you push it until you hear it snap twice, and then it's in place. Next thing you do, take your clip like this, put it up on top. You take the tool that's provided from the company. Now remember, you pulled your clip out here, so you pull that clip out, and that gives you access to the screw right here. If you don't pull that clip out, you have no access to that screw. So now we're going to just turn this and tighten it up very little, and you'll pull this down until it's even with the top of the plastic. And now it's even with the top plastic pieces on the clip. We're going to put this one to the side. We're going to do the exact same thing on this one, squeeze it together. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our bar, and we're going to put our bar up on top. We're going to take this out, just like that. It pulls right out. I'm going to take it and put this off to the side for now as well, just like that.
What is that?
This is a piece of rubber molding that comes on there. That we will need to put this on later on. Just keep it on the side for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bar itself. We're going to take the towers, and we're going to put the towers right in through here, and you're going to slide it in here, just like that. And if it doesn't slide easily, you'll just need to loosen up that screw on the bottom there. If it sticks going in right here, it's because the edge is sharp. You need to push down on the rubber, just like this. And then once you push down on the rubber, you're going to slide it on just like that. We're going to turn it around. We're going to do the exact same thing with the other leg. We're going to take that clip, slide it in here, Again, you're going to push it in. If it doesn't push in easily, we're just going to loosen that screw again. Again, push down on the rubber right here, and you can push it at the same time, and it pushes right past there. Slide it down, and now our towers are on. We're going to turn it upside down, and now if you look underneath the bottom right over here, there's numbers in here. You're going to need to take your directions that came with the base clip kit. You need to take these, and you need to come in here and look up the vehicle that you're working on. It's a Hyundai Santa Fe, and we need to follow it across here and find out what the distance is between this one and this one here. This one says it's 36 1/4 inches. So that's what we need to set the legs to underneath here. You're going to set it to 36 1/4. Okay, and we do the same thing on this side over here. We're going to set this one to 36 1/4. So now we have it set for 36 1/4 here and 36 1/4 here. Okay, and now that we have the distance set to the 36 1/4 as it's supposed to be, we're going to talk about the setting the pitch on here too. Now, when you look in your booklet here, it'll actually show you where A, B, and C is located. It'll also show you in the picture where the arrow shows you which way the arrow is supposed to be pointing, just for orientation. So this arrow is facing that direction, and this is what we see looking in through the top right up in here. We have the A, B, and C right here. And the way you set that pitch is you actually just move the foot back and forth just like that, and you set it to whatever is supposed to be according to your application. Okay? Now, the way you find out what your pitch is supposed to be is you would look in this booklet here. Mine is the Hyundai. We're going to look across over here, and you see pitch P2. It's B. That's where it's supposed to be, at B, and then the toe is supposed to be at 2. So we're going to set the pitch first, and then we're going to set the toe. All right, so this is the pitch right here. It calls for B, which is right in the center. So if this is pointing to the center here, we're just going to tighten this down, and this will be all set. You want to hold it in this position so it doesn't move. And once you have it fairly tight and it's not going to move, take your hands and you turn it until you hear it clicks. And then you know it's torqued to the proper specs. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side over here. Now again, if you can't get your tool in here, it's because this little cover here has slid over, and then you pull the little plastic clip out to access it. All right, and we're just going to tighten this down, make sure it doesn't move, making sure you're on 36 1/4 and that hasn't moved. And once you're confident it's good, then you just tighten it until you hear the clicks. And that means now it's tight. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the toe, and the toe is actually the rotation of this piece right up in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our feet and we're going to put them on. As you can see, this has an arrow. The arrow is supposed to be pointing to the outside of the vehicle. All right, so you take your piece here, you put it over the top like this, you push it, and you hear that double snap, it's locked in place. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side here, an arrow facing to the outside. We're going to take it, put it over the top like this, and push it, and it snaps in. All right, now we're going to set the toe. The toe on this is supposed to be 2. We're going to turn the page so we see where the toe is. This is the toe, 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lay this the way that we have our arrow. The arrow is facing this direction. So for us, the pitch is going to be exactly in the center, number 2. So that's where we want it. But at this point, if your pitch was different, you would loosen this screw right here, and then you would take it and you would turn it like that. See how this moves? That's the A, B, and C. But this one, I'm sorry, this is 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to stay on the number 2. We're going to put a tool in here, and we're going to tighten this down until you hear a click. And we know that that's tight now to the proper torque specs. Same thing on this one here. It's in the center where it's supposed to be. Now your application may vary, but this one, that's what it calls for. All right, so now we have our toe set, our pitch set. The bar is set to the 36 1/4 here and here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our strip that we previously took out. We're going to put it on the end here. Push it in with your finger, just push it, it goes in, and then you want to push this underneath, probably about 1 inch, until it stops. And then once it does, you just continue down, hold it so you don't pull it out, push it all the way in. Okay, I'm going to take our scissor, and we're going to estimate about 1 inch in is going to go underneath here. So we want to make sure we cut it so it fits underneath there, approximately 1 inch. Just a regular household scissor is fine. And we're going to push this under, slide it in, and then push it into the groove like that. So now our centerpiece is in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to come over here to this end. We're going to take our rubber stripping, we're going to put it in here, but this hole right here needs to be free. You can't cover that hole. So what you want to do is you want to put this in here. Remember, you're going under approximately 1 inch on this side as well. I'm going to edit from this point because I can't get it under. You know what? Let me talk about it. Now this piece here is supposed to push under this cleat. It's not pushing underneath the leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and push it under here a little bit. We're going to stop and we're going to loosen this one up here just a little bit so we can get it underneath it. We're going to push it under. We're going to retighten it now. Make sure you stay on your mark. Now we're going to cut this off so that that hole was then able to be accessed to the, and you can see it's covering the hole, so we have to trim a little bit more off of it. And the next thing we'll do is we're going to take our end that goes on here, and this end goes in like this. The clip here goes over the top. It does not go underneath like that. It goes over the top like this, and you push it until it snaps in right there. Okay? We'll do the exact same thing on this side over here. We're going to trim this off again. This one actually pushed in as far as it's supposed to. Okay, and then we take our end. We have the hole is clear here. We're going to push this over the top, and that little piece is going to snap right into that hole right there. Over the top. You just tap it, and it snaps right in. Okay? All right, so this part is all done. Next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take it up on the truck, and we're going to finish it off up there. We're going to take these stickers now. We're going to put them on here, because we want to make sure if we take these off that they're going to go in the exact same location where they're supposed to be, because all of the measurements are different from the front to the rear bar. All right, so these we're going to put on there right now. They just peel right off and you just stick them on. And you can put them anywhere you want to on the bar. I'm sticking them to the inside, but you can put them wherever you like. So that way we know where is the front bar and where is the rear. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our measurements. If you take a look right here, there's actually a measurement from the front bar to the rear bar. So we need to make those calculations for how far it is from the front to the rear. All right, we already have our front bar installed. So we needed to have the front bar 11 inches away from the top of the windshield, which we put into position, and we tightened it down. So the front bar is where it's supposed to be right now. Check your chart here to see what your calculation would be. This one is 11 inches, but yours may be different. So our front bar is in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the rear bar. And the rear bar is going to go up on the roof. So we're going to lay the bar on the roof, and then we're going to measure from the front of the front bar, the front of the front bar to the front of the rear bar. And that's what's called the M4 on here. So we're going to go to M4 on this page here, and we're going to see what our M4 would be, and it's going to be 32 inches. So that's how far the rear bar has to be from the front bar. So let's lay it up on there, and then we'll make our measurements. Make sure you put the bar on the way it's supposed to be, arrows facing the correct direction. All right, and make sure, now if you took this off by accident, there is an arrow underneath the bottom, right here. That'll also give you the orientation of how it's supposed to sit on top of the vehicle too. Okay, now we're going to take this bar and we're going to put it up on top of the vehicle. We're going to lay it up on here. It's supposed to sit up on the top right here, right above this little lip on this particular model. All right, now we're going to grab our measuring tape and we're going to measure what it said. Remember, it was 32 inches. So we're going to go from the front bar here to the front bar back there. And we're back way too far, so we're going to bring it up a little bit. We're going to measure one more time. The front bar here to the front bar there. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. All right, so we're at 32 where it's supposed to be. Now, this fabric tape measure comes with the kit. So if you don't have one with your particular kit, use something that's made of a fabric so you don't scratch your vehicle. All right, so now we have 32. I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to make sure that's 32. Okay, so now we're set to exactly 32. Let me come around on that side and we'll put the feet on. Okay, now for this you want to open up the door. We're going to take our clips. These are the base clips. And we're going to take our clip and we're going to lift this up right here. There's a little door right here. Open it up like that. We're going to push this one back in because we're done right there. We're going to open that up, and then this fits into a little slot right on the bottom right here, and you'll put it in till you hear a click. Now it didn't click, so I'm going to have to bring it down just a little bit. I'm going to lift this up a little bit here. We're going to push it over the frame of the car itself. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now there's two screws you're going to adjust. This one here, which actually moves this bracket up and down like this, and the other one pulls the bracket tighter up onto the vehicle like that. So you're going to need to work with this one and this one here. Let me go to the other side, and I'm going to put this on the other side then. We're going to take our clip and slide it up underneath the bottom. Clicked right in there. And now we're going to adjust this very slightly just till it touches. We're going to adjust the one up on top. I'll show you on the other side when I get over there. Just till it touches, and then we're going to stop. Okay, and then we're going to tighten this one up. And you're going to work it back and forth, and we're going to tighten it evenly down. You don't want to tighten one side very tight and the other side loose, because it's going to move. And once you're sure, then you turn it until you hear a click. Same thing on the bottom one, till it clicks. Then we close that little door. We'll do the other side now. Exact same thing. Okay, and once you're sure, then you're going to turn it until you hear it lock in place. Same thing on this one. That's tight. Close the little door. And now we'll put our cap on. The way the cap goes is you just put the bottom in first, and then you push it. Like that. Same thing on this side. We're going to take the little rounded hook there, put it over the top like this, put it in there. Snap it in place. That's it. The bars are all set. We're going to measure it one more time to make sure that we're exactly where it's supposed to be. Remember, it's supposed to be 32 inches on this particular vehicle. So remember, front of the bar to front of the bar. And it's exactly 32 inches. All right, so that's it. Our racks are now on, so everything is all set. All right, I will tell you this. check whatever vehicle you're working on to make sure you have the right calculations for the pitch and the toe and the distance between the front and rear. Okay, this is the measurement for the front windshield. We know that this particular application calls 11 inches from right here all the way up to where the foot touches up onto the roof itself. So we take our measuring tape, we hold it right on here on the windshield itself, and we make sure that this is an 11 inches, and as you can see, it is 11 inches here. All right, make sure that your foot is inside the window channel right here, sitting up on top here, and not up on top of this, just like that. All right, our next calculation, you know, is from the front of this bar to the front of that bar, and it was supposed to be 32, and that's what we have, exactly 32. All right, that's it. This job is all done. Now, they do sell locks that you can put in here if you choose to install the optional lock package that comes with it. In this case, we're not going to put the lock package on there. We're just going to go with the regular standard side cover with the pin that locks it in place. All right, that's it. And all right, we're off to put our basket on top, and then this job is done. I'm going to talk about installing the Thule Canyon XT on top of existing roof racks. The instructions to put the unit together is fairly simple, straightforward. I'm going to bring you in there. Instead of telling you what I did with the instructions, I'm going to show you step by step what we did. All right, so I'm going to grab you and bring you up there, and you'll see what we did. The first thing we did is we took our basket and we slid our front section of the basket into the rear section of the baskets, and we put in a screw right here, and we also installed a flat washer underneath that. We put a screw in here, flat washer underneath that, and we screwed those tight with the Allen wrench. Same thing on the other side right over there. We did the exact same thing. We put the screws inside there, and we tightened them up again with the Allen wrench. Next thing we did is we put our brackets on here, these plastic brackets. The square piece is the square notch is facing up, and we put our bolt through here with the square peg on the end of it with our washer, and underneath we screwed up there the black pieces right here. You can see where they screwed right up underneath the bottom, and we held that nice and tight. We put those 5 in there. We tightened those down by hand. You don't have to make them too tight. It's just a bug deflector. So we put that together there. Next thing we did is we came up underneath here, and we installed our brackets on the top over here. This is where you may run into a little bit of a problem. The bracket itself has to go with the threaded part facing outside. The threaded part is going out over here. On this side here is where the screw is, and the bolt goes through from this side in. So you have the plastic piece sticking to the bottom, and then you have this open area up on the top here as well. All right, and we screwed these screws here. Okay, we screwed the screws in through here, and we tightened them up with the Allen wrench as well. Then we put our bracket down below, so actually the whole basket itself is not touching. There's actually a gap underneath here. You can see where I can put my hand under. You have a gap underneath there. What's actually touching the bar is this bracket right here. And then you decide which U-bolt you're going to use to put underneath here, and we put the U-bolts through. We tightened them down by hand, and that was nice and tight. Now after you're done, this basket should be nice and tight. You should have no movement in there whatsoever. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our lock cover, our cover like this, and we're going to put that cover over the top. It goes, that little tab right there. I don't know if you can see that little tab right there. This one right here. We're going to hook this onto there, like that. See how it hooked right in there? You take it, and you push it around, like this, push it in, and then you lock it underneath here. You just turn this. I'm going to need 2 hands to do this. And you lock it in there just like that. And that's it. All right, so our Thule roof rack the Thule Canyon XT is now assembled and on the vehicle, and that's it. So the only thing that I'm thinking that you may have problems with is with this section right here. Other than that, you're really not going to have a problem. It's fairly simple, clean cut, and then you choose which one of your brackets, your U brackets you're going to use, smaller, larger, or the one in the middle. The one in the middle is the one that I happen to use. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.